All right, let's get into the next segment now, which is the review of headlines across newspapers in Nigeria. And during this now, we have Dr. Daniel Kere of the University of Lagos joining us right here. Dr. Kere, good morning.
Good morning, Chief.
It's nice to have you
Thank
join
you.
us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's begin from the Punch newspaper now. Refusal to honor invitations. Mixed reactions as Senate says IG, that's the Inspector General of Police, unfit for public office. This row has been going on between the Senate and the police for quite some time now.
Well, it's really a funny development that we could get to a point where, the various, institutions and bodies in government are creating this kind of chaotic, scene. I expected that being lawmakers and law enforcers, both parties should have been able to, respect the law, and
have a better understanding.
Yes, there should be a better understanding. But unfortunately, the IG appears to be an institution on its own. But I think equally one challenge about the invitation, excuse me, is about this Dino Melaye angle. Okay. Because really I was wondering why should the Senate invite the IG to answer questions with respect to Melaye's arrest.
Yeah, but people seem to be fixated on this Melaye issue.
Yeah,
not necessarily just only about
it shouldn't have been an issue.
No, what the Senate is saying, look, there's a need for the IG to answer to questions of security situation in the country.
It should have been that.
So Dino Melaye is just part, or is just a fraction of the entire issue?
No,
it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't have been an issue that the legislative, the Senate should, call the IG to look at. If you have issues on that, that should be a different issue outside the normal legislative duty.
But it was because of Dino Melaye, the Senate had to cut short one of their sittings to be there to see him. And then secondly, they were concerned from the comments from senators. They said, well, it's happening to Dino Melaye today. It could be anybody. It could be any of them later on. When it comes to the way the police handled
it was poor, no doubt. It was poor. But there are other ways of dealing with that. It's not. I do not equally expect that the Senate should even, shut down the proceedings
in solidarity.
Yes. You could have done that as well after your normal, daily proceedings.
Well, the IG has responded. He said, I owe the Senate no apologies.
But I think the
that
Senate
anyone,
can as well
the
call for
AIG
his
or
arrest.
the DIG could have.
The IG can be arrested.
That's what
well, the IG
can be arrested.
Yeah,
yes.
but
so who will arrest him?
Of course, there are bodies that are put in place for that. The IG can be arrested.
It's all right.
By his own subordinates, he can be arrested.
Or
you are now aware that even major generals can be arrested by those military police.
Yeah, exactly. But that happened usually. That happened in the military era. We've not seen that really happen in the civilian. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ebola outbreak. Federal government orders surveillance at nation's borders. This is another crisis waiting to happen. About 17 people have died in the Democratic Republic. Waiting to happen. About 17 people have died in the Democratic Republic of Congo so far.
And the borders are so porous. I'm still wondering how the surveillance is going to even address it. When
at the airports,
with all surveillance, cars still enter, all manner of things still enter.
But basically at the airports where flights linking different countries can come in. That's the emphasis.
It's easier with the airport. What about the land borders?
I think it would have been more heartening to know that we never let down our guards in the first place. Okay. I mean, why wait until there's another outbreak of Ebola
before we begin to panic?
Because before we start hearing about surveillance and the airports and the borders making sure that what they're supposed to have been doing on a daily basis, on a regular basis,
as a normal routine.
All right, let's see. The bombers die as worshippers foil attack on Borodo Mosque. And the health workers in state, local government areas to join strike. And again, Senate postpones passage of 2018 budget. And official corruption become permanent under Buhari. CSOs are saying that. And crisis hits APC as NPDP group writes Oyegun over marginalization. That's the Punch newspaper.
All right, and that's where I'll be starting from The Nation. Ex-PDP leaders in APC give 7-day ultimatum, that's a 7-day deadline for talks. Well, according to some people, the letter is a sign of 2019 battle this ex-PDP, new PDP, are saying that they've been marginalized and they've been left out of the scheme of things. And this has to change in the next 7 days. Otherwise, who knows what will happen?
Anything can happen.
Well, it's not strange. We've seen that before. How many governors left, moved to the other party, and
about 5 governors.
Yeah, so it would be strange should that happen again. Maybe they are among those who are used to this migration stuff, you know.
Maybe they're trying to look for a reason to leave the APC. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so they don't need any, you know,
any excuses.
I mean, if you want to move, you move. That is the trend.
All right. Of course, 9 killed in Taraba attack. Like you would say, it's become the norm, unfortunately. Ajimobi raises arson alarm on APC office. Forbes rates Dangote among world's top 75. That's world's top influential people in the world.
The most influential people.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Lagos-Ibadan road to be completed before December. Good piece of news there. Hip-hop star Davido buys private jet. So you don't have to be a politician to own a private jet.
Amokachi had one at this time.
But you know what happened at that time?
Yeah, so who says that the same when it's not happening?
You know what my people say?
Yes.
Akunawata.
Okay.
Do you know what it means?
Akunawata.
Wealth in youth can be deceptive.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about that before we came on. And, you know, look, why would a young man really want to buy a private jet? Or am I beefing?
Some will say, well, he has the cash, so he has the right.
You see,
yeah, it's not about the right.
Money is about spending.
Yes.
You know, and is either you spend well
or you don't, or you don't spend well, but you spend, yeah?
Yeah, there has to be spending.
So whichever way, at least he has made business for some persons.
Yeah.
You know, some will be reaping from that. Obviously, he's going to park the private jet somewhere.
And it's going to come at a cost on a daily basis.
And the cost will benefit,
has it factored that in?
The cost will benefit somebody else.
Oh,
so,
well,
yeah,
exactly. There you go.
So it's just
let him buy as many as he can.
Fueling the economy.
But I think they should call him to order, those who are close to him. That,
he just bought a Porsche for his girlfriend.
He should be wise in spending.
45 million naira.
You know, this musical business, you see, the music is one business that only very few have actually survived for a very long time. There's usually a period you just reign briefly thereafter. It will look like you never existed.
Yeah, true.
You know, so he needs to be wise.
So better invest well.
Maybe into real estate, other things. All right, let's move to the Daily Sun now. NPDP members in APC revolt. Right Party, alleged marginalization, issue 7-day ultimatum on meeting with Buhari Oyegun. Then IGP unfit to hold public office. The Senate is saying that action deliberate, blackmail, witch hunt. The FPRO saying that, and security lawmakers conspire to steal maize. The police is coming up with revelations there. And as 17 die in Congo, Ebola, federal government orders screening at borders. And then Wike receives Para of Sports Award in Brussels.
What's that?
Well, I think it has to do with contribution to the development of sports. Now, 17 killed in fresh attacks in Adamawa and Taraba. That's still part of the issues that is of concern to Nigerians. That's the Daily Sun.
Yeah, and moving on very quickly to the Vanguard. Fresh woes for the APC. Ex-PDP members write Buhari, and of course they issue that 7-day ultimatum. Don't go to farms. Militia warns Taraba communities.
Wow. So
has it gotten to that? So it's no longer about it's really no longer about herdsmen attacking farmers because they need to feed their cattle.
It's gone beyond feeding of cattle.
Beyond that.
Because if it's feeding of cattle, those communities you are burning down, there are no grasses in those houses to graze on. You left the farm, came to town,
came to the houses,
and start killing and destroying their properties. Meanwhile, the grass they ought to eat is somewhere else.
What's giving these people this kind of audacity?
Because nothing has happened to them. Practically nothing has happened to them.
Although we heard the police have made some arrests in Benue and in some of the states. So we hope that will reduce. But we just
have they arrested the real people? That's another thing. Who has been arrested?
Well, arrests are made. Investigations will kick off from there.
And the things are still happening.
Yeah.
Right there. Just like the Senator Misau will say, why the IG was there, killings were still going on.
Exactly.
So what are we saying?
Okay,
it's really
I'm still curious about these fresh woes for the APC because the ex-PDP have stated their grievances and the Vanguard has actually listed some of them out. Mr. President Buhari has never publicly acknowledged our efforts and members are facing persecution, harassment, intimidation, inadequate reflection of policy contributions by members. That's what their grievances are. And of course, they stated their contributions since they joined the APC. Well,
and they call it the political pogrom. Wow, that's a very strong
program is really strong, very strong one. Ekiti, APC delegates kick against option A4 in rescheduled poll. Of course, that's supposed to come up tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Direct primaries.
Why are they afraid?
Okay. Good question. I don't have the
What is
answers.
the basis of the fear? I mean, you should be able to queue behind your candidates because this tradition of collecting from here, telling this one, you don't win, and at the end of the day, this is where your mind is.
Yeah.
I think that's what is creating the fear in them. Otherwise, if I have a candidate that I want to support, what will be wrong with queuing behind?
And
the
you're
Exactly,
sure of
exactly.
who you're supporting.
But they
Why
said
not?
this is the time delegates make money.
Of course.
In
so
fact,
much.
some of them
Really?
make yes.
Why is
so
it- why
much
should
more,
it be
because
about making money?
The more the candidates or the aspirants,
Yeah, the
the more
aspirants.
money they make.
Indeed.
They will hear some of the delegates in Ekiti State made as much as 4
Are
to
you
5
saying we
million
have
naira.
come to
that
accept
was
it as
small.
the norm?
I remember the last election in a particular state, delegates made as much as 10 million
Exactly.
and more, some 20 million. Because some of the aspirants, each of them, some drop as much as 500,000 for each delegate.
For each delegate.
You
So
know,
they
so
make a lot of money.
a lot of money.
So when you've taken monies from all sides,
Beautiful.
you can't
Now
queue
you don't
behind
have
one
fear
person.
that- because the man who has
What
given
is
you the money,
INEC doing about this?
the man will see you that I give. Look, there was a scenario. A man took some persons, lodged them in hotel,
Hotel, yeah.
fed them, but one of them was, kind enough to say, I have a conscience. Oga, what is happening in this hotel? You are not in the picture. Take your money, please. I don't want to eat this one. I mean, when he was the one who lodged them there, paid for everything, they had somebody else they want to support. So that's the fear they
happens.
have.
Okay.
All right, let's move to this day newspaper now. NPDP wing of APC signals discontent, considers options. PDP asks former members to return. That's certainly you will expect the opposition
they have a
to
place they can
they'll
go
They
back.
say return
cash in
home.
on,
Return home.
cash in on that. And
can
Senate
go back
declares
home.
IG enemy
Yes.
of democracy, unfit for public office. We've talked about that. And then we have again herdsmen kill 9 in fresh attack in Taraba State. And Dangote makes list of 75 world's most powerful people. Ebola, federal government beefs up surveillance screening at airports. So, well, that's majorly on that's the major headlines on this day.
Okay, and final paper this morning is the New Telegraph. On Shibajo, most states won't survive without FAC. Of course, that's the Federation Account Allocation Committee bailout.
But what he has just said is actually an indictment of the federal government. They don't need that bailout. It's the federal government that should be talking about that, because what they are calling federation account is actually the resources of the states that they are now giving to them willfully. The states should be the one to give to the center.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is when we have achieved that restructuring
No,
that
but
we've been
then what-
talking about
you see-
all these years.
But the man knows clearly that we ought to be running a federation.
Well,
is that how
but we're not
federations are?
running it.
Well, the point there is that those are the
So let him
ideals.
not pride himself over that as if he is helping the states. It's the federal that's actually killing the states. So we shouldn't see
Because
that
in
as
real terms, the federal government have the power to say, let's restructure. Because
course.
in restructuring, the powers of the federal government is certainly going to reduce.
reduce.
It's going to, it's
And
going
that
to,
will equally
it's
create
going to
an
trickle
avenue
down.
for the states to
exactly,
give from
to
their
thrive,
resources.
exactly. And even local
So
governments.
what
as
do
well.
we gain from killing the states and concentrating everything at the center?
Yeah.
All right, of our robbery, police arrest ex-SARS officer, wanted suspects. Well, they're making progress on that one. FG probes varsities on tuition fees and staff quality. There's been talk lately
About tuition fees in the
tuition fees.
universities.
Yes, what's happening with that? The federal government is saying it should be tuition free.
Yeah, I mean, that was a position. And I don't know if there are schools that are actually paying tuition. But I don't know that there are certain charges that are paid, which are not necessarily tagged tuition. You find obligatory, whatever fee, you know, accommodation and all the rest. Those ones, they are not tuition. But it appears some schools are actually charging.
When they say tuition, is that not different from school fees?
No, that is the fees.
Is that the fees?
Yes, that is the school fees. What you call school
apart
fees.
from other fees.
Yes.
Other charges,
you find a breakdown.
Administrative
you
charges
have
here and there.
ID card, library this,
Of
health
course.
this, and all the, you know, all manner of charges.
Of course.
But if you remove the word tuition, there are still other names which the schools can actually factor all this in.
Okay. All right. Well, this one should come as very good news to some people who don't like their bald head. I said there's hope as scientists find drug for hair loss.
Well, I think when it comes to
women too,
we are not looking for hair
we'll
anymore.
be
no one is looking for hair anymore
Really?
because
No, we are not.
there's so much stress with waking up. You have to brush, you have to comb, and all of that.
I think that should be for
the ladies.
For the ladies, those who are always looking for, so that it will reduce Brazilian and whatever.
Brazil will really be in trouble
Brazil
if Nigerian women stop buying Brazilian hair. All right. That's it for now on the paper review. Of course, we'll get into our first discussion this morning, and it has to do with this currency swap between Nigeria and China. Find out what it's all about right after now.